You don't need a licence to fly this plane. It never leaves the ground at Queen's University in Belfast. There was no chance of me falling asleep, but one pilot turned lecturer here says it happens regularly.
There's not a lot to do, where the airplane is doing its job, you're doing its job, and you're just sort of sitting there almost like a passenger yourself. And those kinds of periods are tedious and can be not sleep-inducing, but would be more likely to maybe be a little bit more tired.
According to the British Airline Pilots Association, 56% of pilots admitted to having dozed off on the flight deck. Of those, nearly a third said they woke to find the other pilot asleep too. Nearly half of pilots surveyed said tiredness was the biggest threat to flight safety.
If you think about, say, a long-haul pilot, one day he could be flying to Hong Kong and then returns from that trip, and his next trip could be going to Los Angeles. So there's a big time change difference, and so obviously your body is used to working on UK time, and you're then asking yourself to fly back overnight. So you try and get some pre-rest beforehand, before the flight. And in the cruise, we do situations where we plan to be able to take sort of cat naps to keep ourselves fresh.
The Civil Aviation Authority says reports of both pilots sleeping are rare. It describes an incident last month as isolated. One pilot awoke to find the other asleep. The Airbus passenger plane was on autopilot. So I've been in the pilot's seat for this simulated takeoff and landing, but we may be closer than we think to the day when commercial airlines take off and land without anyone at the controls in the cockpit.
That's computers for you, isn't it? I mean, you don't need pilots nowadays, I don't think.
I would find some other way to go. I get my sons to come and pick me up.
I think you've got to have someone to press the button in case something goes wrong.
British pilots are more concerned about a vote in the European Parliament next Monday. They fear any plans to extend flying hours even further will affect safety and want them grounded. David Blevins, Sky News in Belfast.